Hi, I'm disability benefits lawyer David Brannen, also the owner of the law firm Resolute Legal. What do you do when you apply for benefits and get the denial letter from the insurance company? Most people, this is kind of how it happens. You've submitted your application, you may have talked on the phone. Sometimes they'll tell you by phone that you're going to be denied, but sometimes it's just you get this letter in the mail saying that your claim has been denied. If that is your situation, I'm going to explain right now what your options are and what you can do. Now, there is nothing worse than knowing that you have a debilitating illness, knowing that you can't work, knowing that you're not a crook, you're not a liar, and despite all that, you've been denied. It really catches people off guard because they really do believe, I really believe people think that I know that I'm honest and I know that I'm disabled. The insurance company must see that. Yeah, there's people that get denied, but they're the fakers and the exaggerators, but that's not me. Well, I want to be the first to tell you right now, and you know this if you're watching this video, legitimate claims are denied by insurance companies every day for a variety of reasons. The biggest reason, from my point of view, is that you probably have not put together what I would call a winning application for disability benefits. Now, I've covered that in another video, but if you're at this stage right now, it's likely that you just did the bare minimum application where you just filled out the forms, you followed their lead, didn't really supplement other information, you didn't work carefully with your doctor to craft the right type of evidence. It's likely that you haven't done those things. That would lead you to a high probability of a denial. So what do you do once you get the denial? Well, there are two things you can look at. First of all, we're talking here about disability insurance benefits. Under all disability insurance plans, you have a right of appeal. Now, there are two ways you can appeal. The first way, and the most common way, is that you can appeal within the insurance company itself. And how that works is, and the insurance company will notify you about this, but you simply represent your case to a different department within the insurance company. There's the claims department, which just denied your claim. What would happen is your claim would now move down the hall or up the floor of the building to the unit of people who deal with these appeals. The other, okay, so that's option one. Option two is filing a lawsuit. Most people aren't even aware that this is an option, but it is an option that in most disability plans you can exercise immediately. So you immediately have the option to do an internal appeal, which I just described, or you can file the lawsuit. Then your appeal is handled by a judge in the court system. There's strategic reasons to go each way. Ultimately, though, if the internal appeals fail, your only final recourse would be through the courts. Because for the vast majority of disability plans, the courts have the final say on whether the insurance company has to pay you. You may start initially with getting them to review the decision, but ultimately, if that goes nowhere, your ultimate recourse is a lawsuit against the insurance company. A lawsuit simply means that you're asking the court system to decide. Okay? And that's normally when people would have a lawyer involved in filing the lawsuit. You can also have a lawyer involved with the appeal itself. Now, what makes sense for you? It really depends. I mean, in the past, I won't be shy to say that I was extremely negative about these internal appeals. Maybe too negative. Because I've been doing this a while. Recently, I have had more success with getting people approved at the internal appeal phase, whereas before I would have said that it was simply a rubber stamp, there's not really a chance. But what I've found over time is that if you have not prepared what I would call the winning application, using kind of the process that I've described in another video, if you haven't prepared the winning application, you just did the normal, let's send the forms in, the doctor can write, you didn't really know what the doctor wrote, you haven't coordinated any other evidence. If you just did that, then you actually have a chance at winning at the internal appeal if you take a very comprehensive approach to your appeal. By a comprehensive approach, I do not mean that you simply ask your doctor to write another letter, which most people do, or follow the insurance company's lead when they say we just want this and we want that. That again is a recipe for just further denials. You have to do, there's a lawyer I respect greatly from New York who does disability. He says you need to change the narrative. You have to turn the tables. So to be successful at the internal appeal stage, you have to turn the tables. You can't just keep following their lead. So you would need, if you want to be successful at this phase, most of the time you have to take a much more comprehensive approach. Now, if you already took a comprehensive approach and did a lot of the things I talk about on how to prepare the winning application as compared to the normal application that just about everyone sends in. So if you've already done the winning application and been denied, then your chances of success at the internal appeal stage are slimmer. They're slim anyway, but basically if you've already done all putting together a strong case and it's been denied, you really should move on to the litigation phase. That the litigation is just another word for a lawsuit, because you are likely not going to get anywhere in these internal. If you've already put your best foot forward, I'm sorry, they've got their reasons for the denial, and it's not probably going to change. If you've done the winning application, then that's, yeah, they're not going to change. If you haven't done the winning application, then there's room for you to win this right now. Save yourself some time, but you would have to put forward a very comprehensive application. Now, it's important to get to understand that once your claim has been denied, getting an appeal to be overturned internally is very difficult. You're asking another reviewer within the insurance company to basically overturn his colleagues who've been dealing with your claim for a long time and who've already decided that you shouldn't be paid. That's a very extraordinary thing to have, to get that to happen. Trust me. You're basically saying to these appeal people, you know, say your colleagues were wrong and overturn and pay this person money. I mean, it's very difficult to get them to do that, but you can do it. You have to, though, really turn the tables in the narrative and present a lot more evidence that was not available to claim people, so that it's easy for them to say, well, the claim people didn't have all this. Had they had all this, they probably would have approved it. We're now going to approve your claim. Now, if you have questions about what to do with an appeal or the appeal process, please feel free to contact me at the number below to book a time to speak with me at no charge. You can also fill out any of the forms on my website that mention getting a free consultation, and then you can book it and we can talk on the phone, or we could converse back and forth via email. I'm happy, always happy to help people out, especially when you're at the tough spot of getting that denial letter, because it's a very tough time for people.